Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Tatiana well, everybody don't know me yet. But yes, I'm Tatiana and this is a new video. I'm trying to see how to do this, y'all. I didn't realize that the way I record, it's cool at night because I use my ring light, but in the daylight I would look dark. So anyways, this video I'm at work kinda, and I have a 2-year-old kid here. That is not my kids, my cousins. So I may have to stop, to check on him. But anyways, this video is going to be kind of an emotional, sad kind of video. This video is going to be me talking to you guys about my miscarriage that I had in January and how I cope with it, how I'm doing now. It's been a little bit over 2 months now, so you have time to kind of deal with it. It's still sensitive, but you kind of learn how to cope with stuff. That's with any loss. As time goes by, you learn how to heal and you learn how to just go on with life, and things like that. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys really like this video. So I'm gonna sit down. I think I'm gonna sit down. So I'm trying to start from the beginning. If you look at me and I don't look sad, it's because I have cried about this a million times. I still cry about it. But I'm going to try not to cry in this video so I can get everything out the way I want to get out. So I know you guys can see him with the broom. So first things first. So it was like early January or whatever, like the 8th, 9th, 7th, somewhere in there. Me and my boyfriend had just got through having sex or whatever. I noticed that I started bleeding afterwards, and it was a reasonable amount. I wiped and it was blood, but then when I went back, I wiped myself like with a towel before I even go to the bathroom, just and it was blood. And then when I went to the bathroom, you wash down there, you wipe, there was no blood. So I was like, weird. So I was like, let me put like something in my underwear just in case I bleed again. So this is what I did. So this continued for 2 weeks up until I went to the doctor. Well, it continued more than 2 weeks if you're gonna be technical, but it continued. It kept continuing is what I'm saying. So it was just spotting. It'd be some there, then it won't be some there, then it'll be some there, and it won't be some there. So I was under the impression that it was my cycle. I have an irregular cycle. I took 1 shot of the depot back in 2018. And I didn't go back and get the shot. When I tried to go back, they wouldn't let me. They was like, you could be pregnant. So that's like, when you start bleeding, come back. I never started bleeding. That's another story time. I'll tell y'all about my cycles and everything like that. So I was thinking it's my period. I was like, maybe it's my period. So I didn't think nothing of it, but I did think it was weird because I don't spot. So I was going to go to the doctor before I went to the doctor, which was January 18th. But I didn't want to. So my doctor, like, you got to pay $40. They don't bill you. You got to pay it up front. That's my copay with my insurance. I don't have an issue paying it. Ooh. But at the same time, I hadn't got paid yet, so I was like, let me wait because I really don't want to go up there and it's nothing because I didn't think it was anything. So finally the day the appointment comes, I didn't have my car at the time. My car was in Dallas with my mom, not here with me. So my sister's friend was gonna take, I was gonna drop my boyfriend off at work because he went to work at 7 in the morning, and I was gonna keep his car and drive myself. Well, I didn't feel like doing that. I didn't feel like getting up when he got up. So I was just like, I'm going to see if she take me. So at the time, the appointment was originally at 9 something. But she had something to do. So she was like, I can take you later. It's like, okay, they have some appointments from 1 or 2. Which one is okay? She said 2. So I went to the doctor at 2:15. I was about to leave because I had got a new insurance card. And the provider was someone that I don't even know. So I had to call, get the provider changed, and get some numbers and everything. So long story short, I got into the doctor. She was asking me what's wrong. I was like, well, I'm bleeding. I was showing her pictures of what the bleed, like pinkish discharge and all this and that. So I was like, I don't know. She was like, do you think you'd be pregnant? I was like, no. I was like, how can I be pregnant? I ain't had no period. So lo and behold, she was like, well, so for your period, we're going to get you some birth control. And pee in this cup for me. So I was like, okay. She makes you pee in a cup when you go just to make sure. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here now. Hold on, y'all. Come here. Yeah.
It
It hurt.
hurt.
You shouldn't be messing with it. Anyways, sorry. So, what was that? Okay, so she was like, pee in a cup and then you go. So, I peed in a cup. It was very bloody because I was bleeding. Oh, one thing I missed. That day, the blood flow kind of got heavier, like a period. So, I wasn't going to go because I'm like, okay, it's my period. It's heavy. It's coming. But something just kept telling me to go. So, I peed in a cup for her. It was very bloody. Very bloody. And I left. So, I would have been even gone 3 minutes. And they have something called my chart. So like if you get if you get checkups, whatever you get, pap smears, whatever you go get, you go to the doctor as a woman. It says your results there. So I got a notification. It was like, you have a new test result. So I clicked on it. I'm not thinking I'm pregnant or nothing. And it was like HCG, positive pregnancy test, whatever. And it said positive. So I immediately, my body felt so weird, y'all. I'm like, how can I be pregnant? I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I called, and while I was calling up there, she was calling me. She was like, congratulations, your pregnancy test was positive. She's like, are you going to keep it? I was like, yes. If I'm really pregnant, yes. Why would I not? So she was like, well, I'll get you a referral and all this and that. So I'm like, a lot of things are going through my head right now because I'm still trying to figure out how I'm pregnant and what? Okay, I'm gonna go buy some, okay? I'm gonna buy some, okay? You want some juice? I got some juice. Here.
Tomato.
Here.
Tomato.
Hold on, y'all.
Tomato.
You want it in your cup? Okay. So anyways, yeah. So I immediately called my mom first. But she didn't answer. And I just needed somebody to talk to about it. So, I'm going to my nose ring out. I didn't want to call my boyfriend's mom because I feel like I took that away from him for him to tell his own mom. And I feel bad, but I told him at the time I really needed somebody to talk to, or whatever. So, I told her whatever. And when I called, she was like, you pregnant? I was like, yes, I'm about to have a baby. And stuff like that. And she was like, I figured you was gonna get pregnant or something. We've been together almost 3 years though now, so not bad with our relationship. We've been together, so it's not like I'm just some random or whatever, vice versa. So I talked to her for a little bit, and then I called my aunt. Then I called my aunt, and I talked to her about it, and my mom beeped in while she was talking. So I was like, Mom, I'm about to have a baby. So my mama thought that I had been pregnant because she used one of my emails because she can't keep up with emails. And it seems like 189 days left in your period. So she was thinking that I had been pregnant. I hadn't told her. I was like, no, because I'm not scared to tell you. I'm 21. Like, I live on my own with me and my boyfriend. If I was pregnant, I would tell you. So, y'all was crying. I didn't know what to do. I was like, what am I going to do? Then my birthday was the next month. So, I was like, what? I got to be a hot girl for my birthday. And a hot girl summer, nothing. So, whatever. All that. So, I wasn't going to tell my boyfriend while he was working. I was going to tell him in his face. But I know he was going to ask me what the doctor said. Because he always does. And I was like, well, we'll talk about it when we get home. Or whatever. And he was like, is it bad? I was like, no, it's not bad. But we'll talk about it when you get home. He just kept asking me, y'all. So I was like, okay, call me when you get a chance and I'll tell you. So he called me and I was like, we're about to have a baby. And I could hear, you can hear somebody's voice like when they just smiling, they can't stop smiling. His reaction was like that. He was so happy. When he got off of work, he came and hugged me and everything like that. I wasn't mad that I was pregnant because I know some people be like, oh my God. Me and him have a good relationship, and regardless of what our relationship status would have been, if we would have been into it or something, he's going to do whatever he got to do to make sure that baby was going to be good, vice versa. So I never worried about who I was pregnant by, and that was my worst fear as a young teenager and whatever. When you don't want to have a baby with anybody, so you don't want to have a baby with somebody that don't love you. So they're not going to treat you any type of way. You're going to be pregnant, but they still don't care about you. And I didn't have that. Like, I knew I was going to have support. I knew I was going to be spoiled, baby. Like, I wasn't gonna have to do anything. Like, the baby, he was gonna do what he had to do. So, yeah. So, at this time, though, it's happiness, but I'm still bleeding. And that's where the confusion and scare came from. So, my mom was like, well, some people do bleed. My aunt was like, well, I bled. You know, every woman's body is different, though. But, you know, they're trying to give me hope because I'm kind of worried. I still don't believe I'm pregnant, though. I took 2 pregnancy tests. I'm going to post them. I'm going to post a picture I sent my friend in the like, right here, when I edit, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I may post, like, the picture from the doctor. But I'm not showing anything right now because I don't feel like it. Ain't no more. It's gone. So, I took the other 2 pregnancy tests and they was positive. What? So, I didn't know I was pregnant because I didn't have any symptoms. Like, I did pee a lot, but I tied that to drinking water. Nothing crossed my mind. I was like, you're probably pregnant, because I had never been pregnant since I haven't had since my periods being irregular. So I never thought like I could get pregnant, which just so happened to good. So I know the day it happened, I think. So this is where the confusion comes in at. So I kept telling my mom, I'm kind of worried that I'm bleeding because it resembles a mild kind of period. But I wasn't hurting or anything, but I was still bleeding. So my mom was like, well, go to the doctor. I was like, well, I got to start this class today. I don't really want to miss it. And she was like, well, that's more important than that. And they are women, so they should understand. So I went to the doctor. Really, it was a proof of pregnancy that I was needing because I just needed confirmation. I was like, I know they're going to draw my blood, so I need to see what this blood test say. So it was positive. She did ultrasound. She did a vaginal one in the stomach. I appeared to be 6 weeks from the size of the baby. But my sac was kind of big. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back, guys. So, I forgot where I was in the story. Oh, Lord. Trying to think where I was, guys. Okay, so we went to the doctor already. So, I really don't remember where I stopped at, and I don't even feel like looking at the video. I was at the doctor. Okay, yeah. So they did ultrasound. So she said that my sac looked like it could be 8 weeks long, but my size of the baby looked like it was 6 weeks. So she gave me a due date for September 14th. So I'm like, okay, you know, that's fine.
Bye.
Or whatever. Okay, so it actually made it more real when they told me that the blood test came back positive. I was like, okay, I'm really pregnant for real, y'all. Like,
Bye.
this ain't no joke. I'm really pregnant. So after that, they labeled it as a threatened miscarriage because they was like, it's a 50% chance that I could miscarry and I can't, because they said some women do go on to have healthy pregnancies and some women don't. Everything looked normal in my insides because I didn't think nothing was normal down there because I wasn't having no periods since that, so I thought everything was just messed up. But she said everything looked good from there. If it's something that they can't see, of course, you know. And then she also said that my cervix was closed and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, maybe everything gonna be alright. So I didn't worry about it anymore. I just left it as that. But they did say just try to take it easy, you know. But if you're gonna miscarry, you're gonna miscarry. Okay, so that was Tuesday, and I actually went to the doctor and they told me exactly how far along I was. So I was trying to find an OBGYN to set up, but you know, a lot of them don't want to look at you until you're 8 weeks, which I could possibly be 8 weeks because my sac is really big. My sac was actually big, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have a CD for the ultrasound, but I can't look at it. I have to like put it in a doctor's. It's some type of software that you gotta have used for it. So I've yet had to figure that out, but I really want to. I wish I would have known. I would have took a picture to show y'all. So my sack was huge. Like, my sack was really huge for the size of the baby. So it made sense why she was like, something's not right, because, you know, that didn't look right. So I kind of started getting worried. My boyfriend, my auntie, my mama, they tried to be as positive as they could, but for some reason I just felt like something wasn't right. If I wouldn't have been bleeding, I probably would have been okay. But since I had been bleeding the whole time, since I was 4 weeks really, I knew something was wrong. So I went home. I didn't go to the doctor Wednesday. I didn't do anything. Thursday I started bleeding. Hush. So Wednesday I started bleeding. Thursday I started bleeding again. But this time,
No.
here. But this time, it was a little different. And it was some small clots coming out. So that started me because I was like, okay, it's clots. So I had my boyfriend come home. We were nervous. He took me to the hospital. And they were like, it seemed like they was trying to make it seem like I was being too, like I was doing too much or something because I wanted to go. But I'm like, I am pregnant and I'm bleeding. That is a scary thing. So you can't tell me I'm doing too much. I just want to make sure my baby's fine. So she did an ultrasound. Everything looks good on ultrasound. Cervix is still closed. Nothing really changed because it had only been like 2 days. The baby grew just a little bit though. I'm not gonna lie, it grew just a little because I compared like the measurements. So at this point, I'm like, okay, everything's fine. But I forgot I had to wait on my blood work. So I got my blood work back, and my HCG level was in the 1800s, which was kind of on the lower end already because I'm sure it was way higher when I first got pregnant. That Tuesday. Thursday comes and it's 6:42. I didn't tell nobody this when I found out. I just wanted to go home. I was over it. I was tired. I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody tonight. I'll just tell them tomorrow. So my mama was coming to town Friday anyways. And what? Okay, I'll get it in a minute. Let me see. Okay, I'll do it in a minute. Okay, go over there. So, this is when everything starts getting scary. So, I told my mom what happened. She was like, well, you still don't know. I'm like, Mama, that's a big drop. Like, my mom never had a miscarriage. No one none of my immediate family around me has had a miscarriage. They all had their babies. They all had their pregnancies. They might have problems, but they never had a miscarriage. I'm like the first one within my immediate family. It's other family members that's like cousins, you know how it go. But like my auntie and my grandma's kids and all that, none of them have had miscarriages. So I was like, no, Mama, that's not right. I have never been pregnant, but I knew. But I knew that wasn't right. I'm like, that's definitely not right. And within 2 days, that's alarming. So Friday, my mama didn't want me to do nothing. Like, I tried to go to the store, they didn't let me do nothing. His mom, she didn't want me to do anything. Nobody wanted me to do nothing, but I get it. I understood. So that day was a regular day. Like all the other days, I was bleeding. At one point in time, I felt like the bleeding was slacking up because it was just light brown. It wasn't that much. But then, like, I had twisted my boyfriend's hair and everything. And around 9 or 10, I was laying in the bed and I started hurting. I'm like, I'm kind of hurting a little bit. You know, I was trying to, tough it out, whatever, and everything. And I told my boyfriend I'm kind of hurting. This wasn't no cramping, y'all. This was a different type of pain that I had never felt in my life. I had never felt, like, ever. So he comes, he said he would tell your mom. I was like, you said come here. He told my mom to come here. I said, my mom hurting. She was like, do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, no, I'm going to try to wait and see if, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to try to wait and see if it goes away, see if it stops, you know. I'm going to go up there for no reason. It didn't stop. It even got more intense. So they were kind of like coming closer together. Like, as in, you know, contractions. People be like, how far apart are they or whatever. They were becoming closer together. And its pain was coming more intense. And when I went to the bathroom, the blood was coming out even more too. So I immediately knew, like, oh Lord, like I felt in my heart something was wrong, because I'm like, I'm hurting too bad, which I know some people hurt during pregnancies, but I'm early on. So this is the miscarriage stage. I'm in the miscarriage stage. Oh, and my baby didn't have a heartbeat. That was one normal thing, and the woman felt like she should have seen one, but she didn't see one. So they took me to the same place, which is like a minute away from my house, like 2 minutes. Like we get there like that. I could barely walk on my own at this time, y'all. Like I was crunched over walking. I was hurting. I was in so much pain. Like it was terrible. So my put that down. Put it down. So my mom and boyfriend went with that. Actually, let my mom and my boyfriend come in the room with me. I thought they were just gonna let one person, but they let them both come. I didn't have to wait. My mom filled out my paperwork. One man that was there the day before had recognized me, and he's like, she's pregnant. He's like, come on. I was in the same room I had been in the other 2 days I went. This is all within 1 week too, guys. So I found out Monday. This is that Friday. So. So, we need to be quiet through it. So, I'm in the bed, tossing, turning, like, literally whining, kind of. I wasn't crying, but I was, well, I did cry one point in time. I did. I was whining, like, I was hurting so bad, y'all. Like, the pain was, like, on 10. That pain was, like, a 10. It wasn't not tolerable at all. Like, and my mom was like, why don't you try to relax? I'm like, if I could, I would. I'm trying. I can't. Like, this pain is unbearable. So, I'm in their hospital bed. I have no underwear on, nothing. I'm just bleeding everywhere. So, they came. He was like, I can't give you no food. I can't give you nothing to drink. But, or whatever. He's like, well, can I get something else? I was like, can you give me another blanket? Or what? I think I started to get cold. So, and I said, can I get another pillow? And the lady came in. Oh no, this was before. This is before. Okay, yeah, this is before. So he came and gave me some morphine for the pain. He came and gave me some morphine for the pain. And I was like, thank God. It helped. I still felt it, but it helped. It helped a lot. I was no longer tossing and turning. I was more relaxed. Just kind of, I was, at this point I could tolerate it because of the So I ended up getting three rounds of that. But I don't really, that night was crazy. So every detail about it could be jumbled up, and I could be like mixing what happened first. But I'm remembering how I remember it. Like the night, I really don't want to remember it all because it was a terrible day and night for me, because it's really heartbreaking. Because you know, it's like when you see your ultrasound, you see those lines pop up, you automatically go into mommy mode. You automatically think, what am I gonna do for this baby? You know, you always want to give, you know, you want to do whatever you can do. And so that moment for me, it's like my moment was taken because I didn't know I was pregnant for long. You know, I didn't know. I had no symptoms, and that's what was crazy. I just had no symptoms. So I don't know if there was something I could have did differently if I would have known 2 weeks prior or not. Hold on, guys. So yeah, so I had felt a burst. I guess it's like your water breaking. I felt the burst, like a burst of like liquid come out of me. And I told my mom, something just burst or something. And she looked and it was just like a puddle of blood. I don't know if it was mixed with water or not, because I was already bleeding, so I don't know if it would have happened anyways. He grabs, True would be grabbing everything. So, shortly after that,
Mama.
stop.
Mama. No.
So shortly after that, I felt a glob of stuff come out of me. I didn't have to push or anything because I was early on. So I didn't have to push, and my baby didn't have like human like futures, you know, like some people have to push and their baby is like a small, you know, you can kind of tell. Like I didn't look at it. I did not look at it at all. I didn't want to look at it because I knew that like it was just gonna tear me down even more. So my mama looked at it and she was like, "This, yeah." So all of everything is coming out of me at this point. I'm losing so much blood, y'all. Like the amount of blood I lost, you would think somebody murdered me. Like it was horrible. So like, they made me get out the bed, and I had to sit on this, you know, the toilet things that they have, and bleed it out. And guys, it was just coming out, and I was so hurt. Like I cried, but you know, I couldn't even cry the way I really wanted to cry because it just was. I was in so much shock. Like I was like, why is this happening to me? Why me? What did I do wrong? What, you know? And I was like, it's all these people who have these babies and they don't even want them. Why me? You know, I yelled. I was like, if this is gonna happen, I don't want to ever be pregnant again. I was hurt. I'm gonna cry a little bit now. I'm trying not to. I was hurt, guys. Like, in my cry didn't match what I felt in my heart. I felt like my heart was breaking. I felt empty. Like, I felt so empty, y'all. Like, oh, it's terrible. It's the worst feeling in the world. And people will try to say, well, you weren't there for long. You get a bond when you know that you're growing a human. So don't let nobody try to tell you that, oh, you weren't there for long, so why are you hurting and stuff. You know, pregnancy is a joyous moment, especially when it's with a person you love. So it hurt us both like hard. And my mom had told my aunt she had a miscarriage, and my aunt called me like right after, and I just didn't want to talk to nobody. I was just like, I'm over everything right now. I don't want to talk to nobody. I kind of slept, and I also threw up before he even gave me any morphine. And he was asking me questions. I threw up a total of 3 times that night. And he gave me, I know throughout the night I was there, he gave me 2 more shots of morphine. He gave me some water. I was just so hurt, guys, because I knew I was going home and I wasn't pregnant anymore. And it was just terrible. I'm trying to remember any other details. If you've been through a miscarriage, you know that pain and that hurt. So, you know, a lot of you can relate, and some of you can't. You just, you know, you want to see my story. I was over it. I tried to eat the next day at home, which I miscarried early Saturday morning though. I couldn't eat anything. Like, I just felt so empty inside. Like, I just feel like, was this real? Like, I just didn't understand what was going on. I was like, why me? Like, that was my biggest question. What did I do wrong? What did I do? You know, the man felt so bad for me. I don't know what he was, but he was in there. They didn't do an ultrasound either. I wish they would have, so I could have seen like my cervix opening or whatever. He felt so bad for me. He asked Mom, did she want him to clean me up? She said, I got it. My mom had to clean me up. My boyfriend didn't know what to do. And I don't blame him. It's this is a first pregnancy for him, and then it's a miscarriage. So he has no idea what to do. You know, he's just trying to help the best way he can. My mama cleans at the old folks, so cleaning somebody up is nothing for her. And yeah, so they cleaned it up, they changed my covers, and I laid back down. I laid some more on that stuff, and I was just, you know, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's some pain you can't explain because it's just, it feels like someone just took a part of you out. Like, for real. So, I had a doctor's appointment already for that following Monday anyways, but I still went. I didn't feel like, I was like, why do I have to go? But I still went. At that point, my HCG levels were undetectable. It was like at 8. What? Take it off. So yeah, yeah. And she told me, I already knew I had miscarriage though, so I kind of could tell she was trying to ease it on to me, but I was like, I already know, you know what's going on. I didn't cry. I guess she was like, don't beat yourself up about it. But you know, you can say that, but that's easier said than done. Like, I always try to tell people, you tell us to don't say this and don't think that, but that's easier said than done because we're actually the ones going through it. You know, it's easy for you to give, that's any advice, you know. Everything is easier said than done. You know, we even try to tell ourselves we're not going to think like that. I tried to give hope. I prayed. And I was like, I was angry. I'm not going to lie, I was so angry. Angry with God. I was like, why me? Why did you do this to me? I was so angry with him. And I had to understand that God makes no mistakes. There was a reason for it. I may never know the reason. I may not ever understand the reason, but it was a reason. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Had to change the boo-boo. Bye. So anyways, whew. So that's pretty much the story. It's other details, but I don't really like want to go into all the details of everything. So that's that. Now I'm gonna get into how I cope with it. So in the beginning, I was very emotional. Like, if someone played a sad song around me or a gospel song, I cried. I just cried, you know. I cried. You know, that's all I did. And, you know, even now, I have my days. Like, I had just recently made a Facebook post about it. And I'm very secretive. Very secretive anyway. So, because my cousin had asked me, she said my attitude seems bad now. She's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm okay. She was like, even with everything that's going on, I was like, well, I'm really not okay, but I don't know how to be okay when I'm not okay around people. And her asked me that. She's the only person that I can remember that has asked me recently, am I okay? Everybody reached out in the beginning, you know, and sent me their condolences, you know, told me, you know how they go. And I appreciate everybody that did, you know, I really appreciate it. A lot of people didn't know. Close family and friends knew. Nobody on the media knew. I didn't post it on. Some people post like right when they get pregnant, which that's their choice. But me, I'm more secretive. So I kind of wanted to wait when I did. I was going to probably announce it like my baby shower or something when I'm 7 months or something like that. That's what I was going to do. So I would talk to myself and like, no one has even asked me am I okay or nothing like that. And I think people expect you to forget about something right then and there. Like, no, that's going to mess with me for the rest of my life. Because that was my first baby and I didn't have it. I lost it. So don't let no one try to tell you when's your time clock on healing with that. It's not one. We all grieve differently. Some people can grieve and be okay. Time does heal wounds though. Time has made it easier to deal with. Versus in the beginning I was a wreck. I didn't work a lot. I just couldn't. You know, I had to quit one job because I was like, I cannot like deal with these people right now. I'm going through too much. Like, I just couldn't do it. You know, so it's hard. So I bled spotted from January 9th all the way to what was the last day? I want to say it was like the end of January or the beginning of February when I stopped. So I had bled for a while. I bled for a long time. I bled for a real long time. So yeah, that's really me, you know, coping with it. I cry. My boyfriend, you know, when I made that status, he was like, I love you. I'm gonna probably post the status. Actually, I'm gonna go and find the status. It hasn't been that long, but it's been about a week and a half or so. I'm gonna post the status like right here somewhere, and or at the end I'll let you guys like read it and see, you know, what happened. Well, you guys know what happened, but you guys, you know, you can read it. You know, a lot of people was like, oh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be this and that. Put that down. Give it here. Let me see it. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me see. Here.
Mama.
Hold on, y'all.